Okay, for this sneak peek critique, we are going to look at A Lady's Maid by Sarah Gailey. I found this short story on barnesandnoble.com. The sneak peek critique is all about the first 8 lines of any story. Within those first 8 sentences, that a reader will decide whether they want to continue or not. So let's take a look. Upstairs in the bedroom. Well, that's a stage direction, so I won't count that as a sentence. Isaac hadn't taken the news of the engagement well. Number 2. Nadia reflected on this as she pressed her cheek against the cool wall of her wash tub. Number 3. She was strong and Isaac Cornett was a small man, but wrestling his dead weight into the tub hadn't been easy. 4. Nadia dampened a cloth in the wash tub and pressed it to the hot skin on the back of her neck, catching her breath. 5. No, Isaac hadn't taken the news of the engagement well at all. 6. His ire was exhausting. The whole affair made her want to power down. 7. Blood was spattered across the embroidery on her bodice, and the lace trim on the bottom flounce of her full skirt was saturated. 8. She hadn't anticipated all the blood. That's technically the 8th sentence there, but let's finish this off. Isaac's head, as she had discovered, had a lot of blood inside of it. He never told her. How was she to know these things if he never told her? Wow. I'm hooked. This is very well written. My first impression with these first two sentences was that Nadia had told Isaac that maybe engaged to be married to somebody else, and that he was bitterly disappointed, and then perhaps that she was feeling bad that she had let him down. And then we soon find out in the next sentence, looks like she had probably killed him. And also the word wash tub, not bathtub, wash tub, that's a bit old-fashioned too. And then pressing a washcloth to the back of her hot neck emphasizes how much work she was doing to drag Isaac around. His ire was exhausting. The whole affair made her want to power down. See, power down is a very modern term. It makes you think of a device that you power down and turn off. And the whole affair, it's not really a modern term. Again, it's kind of old-fashioned. So there's some interesting, counter language here, counterpoints being made. Blood was spattered across the embroidery on her bodice, and the lace trim on the bottom flounce of her full skirt was saturated. I mean, it just sounds like she just beat him to a pulp. And then, when she says, I hadn't anticipated all the blood, and how was she supposed to, because he never told her. So this is somebody who wasn't terribly sophisticated and learned a lot from Isaac. But I find this really fascinating. And look how much information they gave about both characters within these few lines. I mean, it's hard not to want to read further. So that's my sneak peek critique for A Lady's Maid by Sarah Gailey. I wish you much imagination. Have a good day.